Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'm going to admit that I'm very much of two minds about even recording this video. It is a situation where I'm not entirely sure it's worth everyone's time or if it's too much sensationalist bullshit, so what I will do is I will go ahead and record it in the most non-sensationalist way that I can, if that's even a word, and then decide on whether or not to upload it later. So if you're seeing this, then I think it's fairly safe to say that I did decide to give my opinion on the matter and leave it up to all of you to make up your own minds on how you feel about it. So, as I'm sure you are now aware, judging from the title of this video that I will decide upon after I finish recording this, Kotaku and their parent company Fusion Media Group have decided to Content ID claim a smaller YouTube channel's gameplay footage. Now, it is worth noting that this is nowhere near as severe as, say, a DMCA strike, which would take the video offline and would cause direct harm to the YouTuber's channel. The Content ID is a system in which some or all of the ad revenue is earned by the claimant instead of the YouTuber. Now, there are situations where this sort of thing is warranted. Extended use of music is one very often seen example of where a person might see a Content ID claim take place. Likewise, if one uploads any footage of anything remotely resembling the company that rhymes with Schmemfendo, then a Content ID claim is all but assured before you even finish uploading it. YouTubers deal with this sort of thing all the time. Now, I myself have had several videos with Content ID claims on them, some justified, some not. One such example of a justifiable Content ID claim would be in my recent PUBG lawsuit video where I produced a full Star Wars text crawl at the beginning of the video with over a minute of Star Wars music accompanying it. Now, I knew going in that it would be Content ID claimed, and to my mind, they were welcome to their money. It was worth it to me to be able to make the joke. I didn't care if they claimed all of the revenue from that particular video or just some of it. I had a lot of fun making it, and that was what was important to me. But that was a conscious decision on my part, and one that was made knowing full well what would happen and why. It's a different story if you happen to be the YouTuber Weiss Gaming, a channel that seems to make a variety of content but has focused recently on Monster Hunter World and whose gameplay is currently on your screen now. Earlier today, they posted a video showcasing how Kotaku and Fusion Media had filed a Content ID claim on their video, Monster Hunter World, all problem can be solved by spamming DP, breaking Kulf Taroth's horn hunt. A bit of a mouthful, but certainly no reason to claim ownership of the video content. No, what Kotaku and Fusion Media are citing here is that this was a play match, which basically means that the video segment in question matched their own gameplay. Alright, well, thanks to Weiss Gaming, we know exactly what footage they've Content ID claimed, and while this may open my own video up to a Content ID claim from Kotaku and Fusion Media, I've been known to kick and scream a lot louder than others when it comes to these sort of injustices, so I'm not quite as worried. So I'll go ahead and show you that alleged gameplay match now. And that's it. That's all of it. Kotaku and Fusion Media Content ID'd a Monster Hunter World cutscene, claiming it was their own gameplay. And I do wonder what Capcom would have to say about that. Maybe someone should email them. Now, of course, nothing would happen, though. You see, this is essentially a simple mistake, and while I have no problem whatsoever beating up Kotaku for any number of other reasons, most of them professionally focused, it's hard to focus fire a target when it was an automated system put into place by your parent company. And what these larger companies do is they file their video and audio footage with a Content ID system. Now, the design for this system is so that someone can't rip off their work and, ironically enough, make money off of it. And it is under that same sense of irony that it falsely detected someone else's channel and is now actively attempting to earn income off of someone else's work. Now, I know that there will probably be a good number of people of the who cares variety, but believe it or not, this actually is an issue. Now, every day I hear about one gaming channel or another that is forced to deal with nonsense like this from larger companies like Fusion Media and also entities that don't actually own the content they're attempting to claim. Now, sometimes it is a mistake of automation, sometimes it's a scammer trying to earn some free money, and yes, that does happen. But each and every time this occurs, it is a smaller channel being harmed by a larger one, and Fusion Media is not small by any means. Amongst their digital media outlets is Kotaku, Jezebel, The Onion, and a dozen other sites. And while channels like mine may outclass them in terms of superior wit and charm, they do pull in vastly superior numbers and as a result possess a vastly superior funds, which allows them to employ systems like these. Now, unfortunately, these systems, as we see time and time again, are seen to be exceptionally abusive, falsely claiming ad revenue from smaller channels citing ownership of gameplay. Now, this is ironic in the extreme, as Kotaku gameplay footage itself does make use of fair use in order to even exist. The concept of one's own gameplay being transformative enough in nature to constitute an original work is an extremely gray area when it comes to copyright law, but even still, it in no way covers cutscenes, which are not transformative in any way. This is essentially an abuse of position and of power, and it does underscore yet again just how easily that YouTube's algorithms can be abused. Now, Fusion Media and Kotaku do not own any form of rights to cutscenes within Monster Hunter World. That much should be plainly obvious to anyone. My question would be, how did they end up filing that sort of content in order to claim it as their own, and how many other channels have been adversely affected by these companies and their ham-fisted false claims that are all filed under the guise of protecting their own works? Now, it boggles my mind how many I've seen in 2018 alone. I've honestly lost count, and I know that is most likely just a small fraction of the actual number of channels most likely affected. So go give Weiss Gaming a view, tell them SidAlpha sent you, and if you like their content, maybe drop them a subscribe and keep watching. They don't monetize their videos anyways, so in this instance there's no real monetary loss, but that in no way mitigates how wrong Kotaku and Fusion Media are here. The question that remains unanswered to my mind, and one that we may not ever get an answer, is how widespread is this issue? And as always, please do feel free to let me know what you think down in the comments below. I know I failed to come across as unbiased here in this video, but I hope I at least didn't disappoint. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.